How are you, Chris?
Good. Now,
Good to see you.
do I understand correctly that your client and the kids have not heard any of the things that I just said yet, that you're going to have to take them through it still?
They have not read the extensive bail package that the DA put forth yesterday to the public, detailing the investigative steps that were taken and all the allegations that are laid out in there that led to the arrest and indictment of Rex on the two new homicides from 1993 and 2003. They have not. I discussed the dates and the victims. I did not discuss in detail how they obtained those indictments. I want to go over that with them in person. I think it's more appropriate. And they have not watched the media reports. We tell them, yeah.
I mean, are you worried about how it's going to hit them? I mean, this is some really ghoulish stuff. I mean, this guy, you know, unless somebody planted this stuff on him, he's a real monster, this guy.
No, Chris, I know you had Mr. Tierney on last night. I previously said this is one of the most extensive investigations that I've seen in my 32 years of practicing law. The job that's being done by this task force is extremely impressive. We'll have to sit down and discuss that with Asa and go through the details of that. The first one, 1993, she was not with Rex. He was married to his first wife. She wasn't residing in the residence, so she would have no information regarding that. The second one, 2003, you know, Ms. Taylor in Manaville. Again, the DA puts in his bail application. She was not in the jurisdiction. She was out of the jurisdiction with, ironically, a kindergarten classmate of Victoria's up in Snuggles, Nutsham, Vermont. Rex went through great detail, as you said, in his diaries and his homicide handbooks, to have this all conducted when she was out of town. His diary even indicates Asa away, family vacation. This is going to go down in the history, if it's proven true, of one of the most prolific serial killers that detailed and documented every one of these crimes.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean,
you know, what I thought about today, how did Rex get caught? What happened with Rex, I think technology caught up with Rex. 1993, 2003, you know, cell phones were very archaic. DNA was at its infancy. And I believe that's why, if it's Rex, the MO changed. He was realizing, and you look at his computer searches, if that obtained from his hard drive, different ways of committing homicides and not getting caught. That's why the MO, I think, changes.
I hear you. I just, you know, so much of this stuff was found in the house, and it adds to the obvious suggestion to people is how you didn't know. You were with this guy for 27 years. I'm not implicating her as a co-conspirator in any of the crimes. I'm just saying all this stuff in the house that he uses to do this, and there's this belief now that he was doing it in the home. You have to wonder, how did she not know? How does she explain that?
Well, I'll explain, Rex. If you look at the video I have up now, those two Bilko doors that are open down there, if you go down those doors, right inside those doors is a room about 12 by 12, which is right outside of that room with the gun vault. Rex had a workshop, a wood workshop set up there, you know, with his tools and various items in there. You know, how many families or children even go down to their dad's workbench and play down there? They don't. That's, you know, the dad's area. They may be in the other parts of the basement, so it's not an area they would frequent. The gun vault was put in because Rex was a, you know, member NRA. He had, you know, what, 287, 289 guns. That was put in to keep his firearms in there. So the family was really never in that room. So that was kind of it wasn't like an off limits area, but they didn't frequent that area that well. And it appears from the DA's search, I went into the residence after the search. That appears to be, those two rooms, the primary focus of the DA's search, both forensically with the push pins, with the luminol, the spray, the panelings removed. That appears to be the search that was conducted the second time when they went in last month.
Why do you think that the ex-wife's hair, the first ex-wife's, and Asa's hair and the daughter's hair, why is their hair found around the bodies?
Well, you're an attorney. There's hair transfer could come out by me riding in your car. My hair could be left in your car. It's very simple. It's an easy to have a transfer of DNA or hair. That doesn't necessarily have to be at the crime scene. People come in and out of my office all day long. Their DNA, their hair, their fingerprints could be left in my office every single day. Asa resided in that house. The first wife resided in that house. So it's easy to say a hair could have been transferred. Back in 1993, you were unable to get DNA from a hair. 2024, you are. So Rex never even thought of that. One of the interesting things, we have a copy of the search warrant. The book, as the DA mentions throughout his bail application, Mind Hunter. it appears that book was one of the focuses of the search, going in and getting that book that Rex had in that house. So it's interesting. If true, this was really thought out, well detailed.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.